On Good Friday in Madison Square, tourists and locals alike were astounded to see archaeologists digging holes and sifting the soil.
I looked out the window and I saw these funny looking things, and I came out here to said, my goodness, what's going on? And I was fascinated to see what they're doing here. This is great to have all this Revolutionary War stuff that went on right across the street from your house, and they're actually finding things.
Quite a find it is, too. Numerous artifacts from the October 1779 Battle of Savannah, one of the bloodiest hours of the American Revolution.
We knew that one of the fortifications should be in this area here where the square is. We found 2 musket balls, one British, one probably French, based on the caliber size. We found part of a handmade brass buckle, shoe buckle, part of, well, a piece of Delftware, several pieces of creamware, which are all good period ceramics from that time period. Found lots of brick, which doesn't sound too exciting, but the neat thing about the brick fragments in this area is they're most likely brick coming from the barracks that was torn down in 1778 to beef up the fortifications that were all along here. So we've got a good tight 1779 strata we're digging through right now.
Fittingly, the digging took place beneath a statue of William Jasper, one of the battle's heroes. But the work for the archaeologist actually started back at their headquarters in the Savannah History Museum, where team member Laura Seifert used special computer software to overlay historic maps of the battle on top of modern Savannah street maps.
To do this on paper would be like using a copier a million different times. Basically, it allows us to take a map and almost act like it's rubber and stretch it and arrange it so that it fits properly with the modern-day street map.
Next, the team used special ground-penetrating radar to get a sneak peek below the soil, and then spent 4 days digging on less productive sites in Emmett Park on Bay Street before their amazingly successful one-day dig in Madison Square. Now they'll analyze their findings and decide what the next step should be. Reporting for CitySpan, I'm Michael Jordan.
Conservatives say President Obama is trying to do an end run around welfare to work, the requirement that able-bodied adults get a job or job training in exchange for government assistance. But the White House insists it's just changing the work requirements, not getting rid of them. Jim Angle is live in our D.C. newsroom. Jim.
Hello, John. Well, the Obama administration quietly offered to issue waivers to the work requirements in the law, which conservatives characterized this way.
The Obama administration is gutting welfare reform by claiming the authority to be able to waive work requirements. And work requirements, of course, were the heart of the success of welfare reform passed in 1996.
Now, President Clinton signed the bill in 1996 after embracing Republican ideas for reform. It was enormously successful, cutting welfare rolls in half and pushing child poverty to historic lows. Now, the work requirement can't be waived, but the Health and Human Services Department claims it can issue waivers by using other provisions in the law. That outraged Republicans. Senator Orrin Hatch calls it, quote, an outright abuse of the federal government's system of checks and balances and an insult to American taxpayers. Lawmakers were already unhappy because in 2005, the Government Accountability Office found that several states were listing as work some things that clearly did not qualify, including bed rest, personal care activities, massage, exercise, journaling, motivational reading, and smoking cessation. So the new developments have aroused a lot of suspicions.
This is a step backwards, so we'll need to make sure that there is no violation of the law, and perhaps we'll need new legislation to drive home this requirement.
Now, the administration said it won't eliminate the work requirement, but may let the states use different methods than those in the legislation. That's exactly what some members of Congress are afraid of. John?
Jim Engel in Washington. Thanks, Jim.